You're watching Frank Trades with Dex, where a trading novice, that's me, trades with a 20-plus year expert, the man known as Dex the Vulcan, Dex the Algo Capitalist, or just my main man, Dex. Dex is the head trader in charge at our room at watchustrade.io. Head over to watchustrade.io to learn more, to register for a free online live trading event, or to join our room where you can trade with Dex yourself.
Where they remotely access
Hey,
your
folks,
computer.
we're live. How's it going, everybody? Oh, there we go. We've got people watching. We're back. I've been missing. I've had people asking about my health and safety. They were afraid that I got eaten by the gorilla or something like that, but I'm here. How you doing, Dex? Yeah, me and Dex are having what you call a day.
Yeah, multiple days.
Yeah, multiple days. But you know what? It's all in the service of the pulse waves, because we're getting ready to unleash our update, our epic update. That is going to be so
Epic.
cool. We had a guy. We were this close to actually launching the new website a couple hours ago, and then we decided we wanted to fix some little thing that was kind of messed up. And right when we were doing it, somebody joined, and I was like, man, he made it in the skin of his teeth at the old pricing, that cat. So if you're watching this, the truth is we're about to unleash pulsewavetrading.com on you. If you go there now, it's a protected page, but it's coming very, very soon, and it's going to be really, really sweet. And it's your absolute last opportunity to go to watchustrade.io, which is going to have a funeral tomorrow. And but the price tag on watchustrade.io will get you in to the new PulseWave site, but it's cheaper, and so consider it on sale. This is your last chance if you haven't joined yet. But welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. This is crazy, man. This is our first broadcast together this week. You've done a couple things without me, I think, but
I did one.
yeah, because we've been so.
I wanted to do more, but then that's when the trying adventures came.
Yeah,
prevented me from doing what I wanted to do.
Yep, Dex has had some technical issues.
Not just look, dude, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for me this week.
Yeah,
including my son injuring his knee.
Oh, I didn't know that. What happened?
My wife having a terrible flare up.
Oh, get out of here! That's terrible.
And yeah, I'm not kidding. Then I need double knee replacement. So
double
both
knee
of my
replacement?
knees started acting up. Yeah,
Were
man.
you a pro wrestler at one point?
Nope, not at all. So I had to deal with that.
Yeah, and then
crashing computers and just everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yep.
But I will say this, folks. You guys have no idea the awesomeness that is coming your way.
That's true.
We have been working for the past several weeks behind the scenes to really, really, really bless you guys. And at the same time all this is happening, there are things happening around the world geopolitically and economically, and everyone's talking about the markets and blah, blah, blah. And all I'm telling you guys is everything that I told you to expect to happen is pretty much happening. I told you how severe the pullback in Bitcoin was going to be, and it was severe.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh. I got the Bitcoin chart up right now. This is the Binance chart. And interesting thing, though, at least from my perspective, I want to hear what you have to say about it, is how much it's respecting the cloud.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Kumo cloud is there for.
Yeah.
The Kumo cloud shows you what you can expect. We'll start with the weekly. Look at the weekly. The weekly
That's
cloud.
On the right, by the way.
Notice how the price action has been falling to new lows to correspond with that wicked decline that I was telling you guys about weeks ago.
Would you call this a vortex? I know you've referred to certain.
Yes, it is.
Vortex, right?
It sucks price down into it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And on the inverse, if you look at the daily chart there on your left, you notice how the incredible up rampage is helping to pull prices back up to it. So you got the war of the resistance and supports right now. Believe it or not, the market is trading within a range right now. All right, so you have to respect the ranges. You have multiple bullish pointers along with a bearish pointer on the weekly chart. So what does that mean? It means you can expect prices to oscillate between the highs and the lows of those 2 points. Now,
So
here's
this
where
is
the
the
war is
bullish
coming
pointer.
in.
This is the bearish pointer.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, the bullish pointers are the ones sticking up. The bearish ones are the ones pointing down. Very simple. Very
I was
simple.
just trying to be helpful.
I know. You're always very helpful.
Thanks,
So here's the thing. You have competing agendas on the um, what's the word I'm looking for here? On the fundamental analysis side of things. All right, so we already knew that Bitcoin was going to correct. I told you it needed to do it in order to establish a key support for the bull market rally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the same time the market was preparing to do that, that's when Facebook came out with its news about Libra. Now, people were saying, oh, that should really help the Bitcoin rise. Instead, Bitcoin is falling, so they're blaming the Libra news on that. When in all actuality, the news has nothing to do with it. This is a technical picture that is what we're looking at right now. It's all a technical landscape. You can put whatever news you want on it. It doesn't matter. What you're seeing is all technical.
Mm-hmm.
Market needed to do this anyway. Now, here's some caveats that
Yeah, it's
are
interesting.
very interesting with what's happening on the technical side. This is where fundamental analysis is trying to affect the technical analysis. Are you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready.
All right, on the top and bottom side. First, we're going to look at the top side. Around the time that the Libra news started to hit the wires,
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin was hitting its peak. Everyone's saying, yes, we're headed back to 20,000. The news comes out, and then all of a sudden, Bitcoin starts correcting. At the same time this is happening, you have so-called technicians coming out and saying, ooh, we got a double top. See, we hit that 20,000. We ran up here. We failed to hit that and take it out. That's a double top. That's a head and shoulders. Market's crashing and burning. It's going to zero. I've heard all types of extremes, right? Now, you knew that the nuts were going to come out. You knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'd already warned you and told you what was going to happen. So on the bottom side, that's our top side. The bottom side is this. We know that 9,000 needs to serve as a key support zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So peep this. The fundamentals are coming out again, and they're saying, we believe that this whole Bitcoin thing is going to be detrimental to society.
They're always trying to protect us.
Right?
They want
now
to be in the safety of the Fed.
No, but it's more nefarious than that.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting this information out right as Bitcoin is hitting its support. The reason they're doing it is because they want it to break through the support. Because they know that if the support is not built for the next rally, then it will crash. Because then you have a situation of a failure. You have another failure. You failed to take out the top, and then you failed to support that bottom there. And if you fail to build that support base, then your bull market falls apart completely, and then you go back into a bear market, and this time you drop below 4,000. And then that, as far as the fundamentals are concerned, will do away with all this nonsense talk about cryptocurrencies and Libra. All right, and that thorn in their side is no longer. All right.
So you think they're basically just trying to break its back?
That's their plan. Yes. So where does that leave us? Okay. Well, if you remember my documentary, the Federal Reserve and the central banks versus the blockchain and cryptocurrencies, it's still up on YouTube. I explained and warned everyone that these things were going to come to pass. I also mentioned in that documentary that even though the White House and even though Congress and the Senate and even the Federal Reserve itself was ignoring cryptocurrencies. They even went so far as to say it's not a currency, it's not an asset, it's not a security. It will go away on its own. Wall Street itself also ignored it. You had all these companies coming out and saying, "Oh, it's foolishness. It's a tulip bulb. I'm not getting involved." Even Warren Buffett was dogging it. Everybody, Bill Gates, everybody was dogging cryptocurrencies, right?
Yeah.
Just dogging it. Now you see the opposite. Okay, so while they were dogging it behind the scenes, you had some Fortune 500 companies getting ready to participate in the space the best they could. I'll get back to that. So last week we had the Fed chair, testifying before the House Finance Committee, and I realized something. Now, I took notes that I was going to share with everyone, but because of the computer situation, I do not have access to those notes at the moment, but I do recall what I was going to say. So, this is something we noticed. We noticed a big shift in how things are presented to the public. Now, maybe I'm late to the party in recognizing and understanding this, but then again, maybe I'm not. Maybe you all don't know what I'm about to say either. It has come to my understanding and to my attention on reliable sources that the House, Finance Committee, what have you, is a dog and pony show. It's not a real committee and it's not a real government entity that has any kind of power or oversight whatsoever. It is actually, believe it or not, if you really want to be technical about it, this House Finance Committee, whatever, Senate Finance Committee, all they are is what we normal people who are not the high and mighty powers that be, we would call this spokespersons. They are nothing but spokespersons or public relations specialists for the Federal Reserve. Everything they said and talked about only put the Federal Reserve in a good light. As a matter of fact, they started off everything before they even spoke. They treated him like the Pope. They said, "Thank you for being here. You're doing a wonderful job."
Yeah.
Everyone said that. "You're doing a wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job. It's a shame that, the president, is making your job so difficult." Then they flexed on national television. The Fed chair, along with his spokespersons at that committee, said that the president doesn't have the authority or the power to even fire me. He basically said he was above the president. That's what he said. He said he has no legal basis to fire me or do anything with me. Then this is when things really got interesting. Maxine Waters, all right,
my favorite,
got up on that mic and declared before the world, are you ready for this? That cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, and especially the Libra, is a threat to national security. She furthermore stated that they had to do something about it because it would compete with and replace the dollar and that they would lose control. Not only did she say that,
music to my ears,
but the Fed chair also said it. Yes, he co-signed what she said.
Wow.
So the question is, I thought you said that cryptos were not assets. I thought you said cryptos were not currency. I thought you said that the cryptos pose no threat to the financial system whatsoever, and you were going to ignore it into oblivion. Now they've totally done a 360 and said, yes, it is a currency and we're afraid of
We're
it.
terrified of it. Yeah.
Then they went on to
Plus
say
terrorism.
they start fear mongering. They said the only people using that is
Yeah.
terrorists and and money laundering and all these things, right?
Market cap would
But
be way bigger if that's what it was being used for.
but no one raised a hand to say, excuse me, Maxine Waters, let me ask you, before cryptocurrencies came into existence, what did people use for money laundering? What did terrorists use to fund their operations? Can you please speak on that? What did they use? U.S. dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Mm-hmm.
U.S. dollars. Okay, so people launder money through what? U.S. dollars. Okay, what means do they use to launder this money? Banks. I'm sorry, what was that? Banks. You mean those entities that are connected to the central banking system and the Federal Reserve? Yes. So let me get this straight. So you have not been able to stop money laundering and the funding of terrorism with the petrodollar, with the greenbacks, but yet you say that crypto is just running wild with terrorism. You see the problem with that? So it's very interesting how they set up this straw man and then fearmonger to get the public opinion shifted to their viewpoint with scare tactics and talking about terrorism and national security, using those trigger words to trigger the public into fear and into believing whatever they say is right. And really, what it was is a push for total control. They don't want people having anywhere to turn to except for them. They don't want competing currencies. They basically gave it away when they told you point blank they cannot allow anything to compete with that dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the facts, folks. They already told you what it is.
You know, in
So
my
you can't
wildest
ignore it.
dreams, this is a tool for the millennials and younger generations to just see through the whole thing, because
Yes.
they're gonna see the value of all of these things just as a technology, and then realize that the government is saying it's evil, and
Yep.
start to realize that maybe, just maybe, Maxine Waters, who was created by Jim Henson to be a villain in one of his movies, uh, maybe she doesn't have your best interests at heart. Just maybe.
She's a gangster. Any politician
She's
that's been
such
in
a gangster
politics for 30,
in the
40,
worst
and
way.
50 years,
Yeah.
the question you need to ask yourself, how is it that this person is still being elected to office
Mm-hmm.
time after time, and yet
Yeah.
their people in their district is
Yep.
struggling? No change, no difference has come
Yeah.
since they've been sitting in that chair.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think, we see these people on the news and we make fun of them and stuff like that. We see them as kind of a joke. But the reality is these are incredibly powerful people.
Right.
Incredibly powerful. And that's kind of the scary part. You think of someone like Maxine Waters and you think, oh my goodness, what a joke. What a kook. And but in reality, you've got somebody who is very, very dangerous, very, very powerful. So, yeah, no, very helpful. Before we move on, let's we've got people here, and since we haven't been on, I want to say hello. So first of all, we have our friend Jen is reminding us this is episode 40 of Frank Trades with Dex. So we're cranking
Hey,
these
what's
out.
up, Jen?
We're gonna start killing it with these. There's gonna be so many. Couple quick ones. We had a question here. First of all, Christy, yes, let's feel those pulse waves. But then Angela had a great question. I think she was asking this in the room as well. In previous videos, you mentioned that a thick red Kumo cloud will slow momentum if it's entered. What about a green Kumo cloud? Does it add to momentum? That is a great question.
Well, I am of the opinion, because I think I also mentioned at the same time I was explaining that to you, that the Kumo cloud really has no bearing like you would think, not on a consistent basis. Markets can rally in red Kumo clouds, they can fall in green Kumo
Mm-hmm.
clouds. I don't subscribe to that it means anything. I just like the fact that they color code it so you can know if it's a bear
When you
cloud or a
say
bull cloud.
mean anything, you mean the color doesn't mean anything. Not that
The type of the cloud,
yeah,
color means
not
nothing.
that the Kumo
As a
cloud
matter of
doesn't
fact,
mean anything. That would knock out so many things we've said.
on the new sheet, um, you'll notice that an 88 is still the Kumo cloud of death,
Hmm.
but a triple eight is. I added that
Is that an
just to
advanced
let
one
you
or a?
guys know that an 88 was basically a normal, bullish or bearish Kumo cloud, but a triple eight is a special type of a consolidated movement in the market. I won't bore you with all the details, but I added that just to differentiate the different types of clouds. That's all. So no real confusion there. If you see a double eight or a triple eight, you know you're in a Kumo cloud of death, and you know how to deal with that.
Hmm.
And last but not least, regardless of the rally and crash alerts, folks, regardless of the rally and crash alerts, the price triggers themselves are your alert systems. If you get a crash alert in something today that you wanted to buy, you don't have to be afraid to buy it if the conditions are met during the trading day to hit that buy trigger.
Yep.
All right. If the conditions are met and the buy trigger is reached, then you need to go ahead and be long in that market,
Yeah, this is
regardless.
there's a new video available for this is available right now. You don't even have to wait for the new website, but on the new website it'll be the default video. But if you're a current member, I added a thing called the Fast Track series to our members site. You can find that in the number 2 Get Started videos room in the chat room right now. And I talk about 4 ways to choose your trades. If you're confused about anything to do with the price triggers themselves and how they work, you really need to sit down and watch that video, because I go over 4 different ways to use them. And one of the things that I emphasize, and that Dex is always emphasizing, is that the prices on the pulse wave on the price triggers are the most important thing. So if you get a rally alert and something crashes, the question for you is, which did it hit the long or the short price trigger? That's the key. So always remember that the rally and crash alerts to trend momentum are very helpful, but the most important thing is price. So
exactly. So if something has a crash alert, but the conditions are not met to trigger the sell trigger,
mm-hmm.
then you don't have to be afraid of that crash alert for that day.
Absolutely, yeah. Well said. Okay, so let's take a couple of requests, a couple questions, and before we wrap it up for today, let us know in comments if there's something specific that you'd like to look at, and we'll get on it. So let's go. Let's try to predict. Mr. B's working through them right now. Glad to hear it. Yeah, there's some cool stuff there, and don't forget to download the accompanying notes. But we basically simplified it. Before we would have like little mini courses on this and that. Basically, what it comes back down to now is just watch the Fast Track series beginning to end. There's a couple little options in the middle where you have to decide what you want to look at first. But other than that, it's just start and finish, and you should have a really good grasp on how to use the system. And, more and more when we talk about pulse wave trading, it really comes down to we provide you with a system. Those reports come out every night, and then you apply the information that you're receiving in very simple fashion. And so it's not about spending endless hours in front of your screen. It's really just about using the information that you're given. So this is XRP. We had a request here from Corby, and then we're going to look at a couple more for him or her, SLV and Hack. So let's look at XRP first. This is one that's been struggling for a while.
Yeah.
It looks like it gave up on Italy, and now it's going home. It's like, forget you, Italy. I don't need to come into Italy.
What can I tell you? I mean, I told you that vortex was coming,
yeah,
and that the inverse rampage was going to push prices
really
much lower,
yeah.
And that we were going to see a new leg down, and that's exactly what the market is giving you.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving you no reason to be long right now.
No reason, yeah.
Or if this is something that you're holding, in an account, there's no reason to be adding to it just yet.
Mm. Here's SLV. It's a much more happy looking chart.
Yeah, that right there, man. That SLV just broke out of nowhere.
I go into a cave. I go in a cave for 2 weeks, and SLV breaks out. Come on.
I know,
No
man.
one
It's
even, no
just
one
one of
told
those
me.
things. Uh,
Any
yeah,
comments
it's one
before
of
we
those
move on to the
things.
next one?
Nah, man. I mean, what else can you say? It broke out.
Yeah.
It's trying to do a little something. It's not officially, super bullish yet because you got to have your price and trend lines on
Now,
your weekly
uh,
above that cloud.
something not to change the subject, Dex, but you had a great talk on Bitcoin. But I want to ask you sort of like, what's your conclusion for the moment? You said they're trying to pull it down and everything, but how would you play that? What are your thoughts? I was talking to somebody yesterday, very concerned. This is a person in our room who is a big time Bitcoin hodler and BTC maximalist. And so,
Mhm.
what's your take? Do you think they'll be successful? Do you think it's going to resist the pull? Do you think they're being effective? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that the news has nothing to do with what's happening in the market.
Okay.
The market, it's already doing what it's doing, just like I
So
explained.
you think Bitcoin will do its thing regardless of what they're trying to
It's
do?
doing its thing regardless of what they're trying to do. Absolutely,
And do
has
you
nothing
think
to
we're
do
going
with
to
it.
get pulled all the way down into this vortex, which wouldn't be the end of the world? What would be, at least
No, I mean the official support range officially is between 7,000 and 9,000.
okay?
You
And you think
got
we'll
two
probably hold
thousand
that?
point deep support
Mm-hmm.
zone. Anything
Let me
below
get my head
that
out of the way on the
would be
charger.
would be troubling. Right now, the market on the weekly is still bullish. You got price and trend lines north of the Kumo cloud on the weekly.
Mm,
So you're still in a bull market.
yeah.
But on the daily, it's obvious that you are in a corrective mode and you're still in a corrective mode. Technically speaking, the bears are still in control
Okay.
um, right now on the short term because the market's in corrective mode. Once the market begins to have a strong enough rally and maintain that momentum, then the bull market will continue in both the daily and the weekly. So just for right now, temporarily, you're in a corrective mode on the daily, but you could threaten to be in a corrective mode on the weekly as
Okay.
well
Sorry, I changed one.
if we close down again this week.
Roger. Okay. I'm trying to pull up hack here.
Yeah.
My computer's getting a little slow on me.
And we never know how much low something's going to go when it's correcting. The price will go where it's going to go. Only thing you can do is watch those intraday developments and trade accordingly. So if you're holding Bitcoin right now in your portfolio and you're doing a longer term play, you're not looking to add just yet, not until the correction is over.
Okay. Okay.
Because you don't know how
Hack.
low
We
it's
got
going to go.
hack up, and man, look where hack is.
Yeah, I told you about that $40 threshold. Anytime we push back above 40, it's trouble. It's trouble in paradise, which, because of the week that I've had, yeah, I can see that. You got thousands of people experiencing what I'm experiencing, and it's not a small thing that, Microsoft wrote what they wrote on their website. So they're aware of the
What did they write
situation,
on their website?
that they're merging older platforms into the new
Which is a fancy way
software
to
for
say
the
we broke
Windows
everything.
10.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So it is what it is, but that doesn't mean that cyber threats, as far as national security and other matters, are not in play. They are. You're over 40 now, so yeah, it's definitely in play, and it's not just limited to cyber terrorism. It could be just about
Yeah.
anything, as I've told you guys. So if you're long that market, you're making money, but
You
the
got that going for you.
backside of that is, yeah, the backside of that is woe to what's coming.
Yeah. All right, Nathan. Our dude Nathan's asking for LTC, and
All right.
it's in the cloud, man.
Yeah.
It's not looking great.
That means it's wild. Jokers are wild when you're in the cloud.
Would you
So
consider this 42-ish down here to be support
where are you at, the daily or the
on the
weekly?
weekly?
Okay, I see your cursor now. Um, it is a support.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily call it the support,
Okay.
but it is definitely a support. Your Kumo cloud, the top of your cloud and the bottom of your cloud are resistance and support zones.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The question is, how is the market going to handle it?
Yeah.
Is it going to drop all the way to the bottom of the cloud? It could.
Scary.
Doesn't mean that it has to, but it could.
Yeah,
And
watch
right
that one.
now, you're in a down phase corrective mode, so that down channel could begin to accelerate. We'll know more after today's trading. So I'd say sometime this evening. I don't know when they update theirs, but right now you see where we are right now. If the market is down significantly by this time tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
then that means we're going to put a new leg down, and yes, we're threatening to drop below the support of the Kumo cloud.
Gotcha. Okay, we're gonna take a look at ETH also for Nathan. Same kind of situation.
This one is, this one's in the cloud, but it's threatening to drop below the cloud on the weekly. On the daily, you're up against mad resistance right now, but you could get an airlift. There's reason to believe that the market may try to get back up and test resistance. Failure to do that on that daily, then we're going to be in trouble. The market needs to get back above where it is right now. It needs to close above that overhead resistance line. It needs to close above that, preferably this week.
Okay.
On the weekly chart,
my bad. I already
right now, you're still bearish.
My bad.
So
you want it back?
I'll
get it back.
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
The weekly has a lot more ways to go as far as top side. So it's still in the bear camp right now. Okay. What in the world is that one?
AG? What is this? Did I do the right one?
You said AG or EG? Is that a crypto or is that a stock?
I think it's a stock. Yeah, it's Majestic Silver.
Whoa,
wait, hold on. I'm all screwed up here. Aaron was asking, is AG oversold? Oh, he's talking about.
Well, this chart you got up right now is absolutely bullish. It's parabolic.
Mm-hmm.
It's jumping and skipping.
Yeah, this is something else.
It's a runaway bull market. What's that ticker you got up? What is that?
It's ticker AG.
AG?
Yeah.
All right, make a note of that. I'm about to look at that. I want to make sure that's in the system. I wouldn't mind participating in that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at oil.
What, Canadian dollar? Yeah.
No, oil. We're at the oil for Aaron.
Okay.
So you tell me what ticker do you want for oil?
Pull up either CL or QM. That's the futures.
Okay. So I'll go to the Q. I think I have the Q. There it is.
That's the QM. Okay. So as you can see, crude oil futures dropping below the Kumo cloud on the daily and threatening to do the same thing on that weekly. You do have a little bit more support wiggle room on the weekly than you do on the daily. So this one's, the bears are very much in control. This one looks very bearish. But you have a question mark on that weekly. The weekly saying you have more downside to go before threatening it to come out of the cloud, but the daily is already outside of the cloud.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's definitely, a bearish scenario right now.
Great question from Angela. What does a day look like today? Tell us when both triggers were hit. So basically, it whipsawed. What do you have to say about that?
Well, during periods of consolidation, you'll have that.
Yeah.
You have that where the market will run up and trigger, both sides of the market. But that's more rare than not. Right now, though, it's still in a bear situation. So it looks like the long would have been triggered first, and then the short. So you should still be in the short. Am I correct?
You're asking me? I don't know.
Okay. Well,
yeah, my bad. Don't know.
Yeah, it depends. I'll have to look at that one. But yeah, during periods of consolidation, you may get clipped once or twice on a particular security, but you got to keep trading it,
mm-hmm.
because not only do you make back, whatever you lost on the clip, but you also capture the next leg of that move, whether it's going to be up or down.
Yeah, and always remember to leg into things. Don't go crazy losing big on one trade.
If it's something that you trade a lot, you got to take every trade. You don't just say, "Oh, I got clipped today, so I'm not going to trade it tomorrow." No, because then you'll miss out on your opportunity not only to get back even, but to get in the black on that particular trade.
All right, cool. We're with the Canadian dollar for Paul.
Canadian is moving in concert with the oil in a sense right now.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's in a
Oh,
corrective state from a bull market.
and we have an answer. Corby is a dude. Sorry,
Okay.
Corby. I don't know, and I see the pink thing. I'm sorry, man. Now that you say it, I could feel your masculinity coming through the comments.
Yeah, you're in a corrective state off of a bullish run on both daily and weekly time frames.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, the bears are in control.
All right, cool. Let me see here. GBTC, favorite of our crew here. There we go. Look at that. Interesting.
Oh wow, you're bullish on the weekly and daily time frames still.
This just looks like the Bitcoin chart.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
the Bitcoin chart with some gaps in it.
But you are in, and you're technically speaking, officially, you are in a corrective phase off the bull market run. So you can expect lower prices in the time being. But definitely, we're going to need a good momentum run to get the bulls back in control of that
JNUG
market.
from Mr. DeWalt makes
Yeah,
tools.
the gold miners have really been catching a good boost, a good shot in the arm because of the gold and silver moves. So yeah, this is long overdue, and hopefully it's just the beginning.
Cool. All right, let's see. Guys, work now. Yeah, let's look at BNB, and then we're going to. Mark's got a few, but we covered most of them already. Let's look at BNB for Mark, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the day and get back to building this amazing website that I can't wait to show the world. All right, BNB. This has been very powerful and bullish for a long time, and now it's struggling for the first time. Like if we look at the daily, I mean, this is the first time it's had anything below the cloud in a long time.
Yeah, the bears are definitely in control right now. It's also
weekly again. Well, still very bullish on the weekly.
Yeah, it's bullish, but it's in an official corrective mode right now,
Mm-hmm.
which means you can expect the possibility of lower prices.
Mm-hmm.
It is officially in corrective mode.
Well, that's what they get for making life difficult for us in the U.S.
I know, right?
Cutting off. I still got this JNUG thing up here. All right, cool. All right, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you all, and I promise those of you who are in the room. Oh, by the way, the room is now officially called Pulse Wave Trading. We changed the branding this morning. We changed the logo. And very shortly, we'll be changing the website over. We just got to, there's a long checklist of things to make sure that they're turned on before you turn that website on. So we're working on that.
Exactly. We want to give you guys the best, not the half-done package.
Absolutely. And if you're in the room, I do beg your patience. For those of you who are in the room, there is a process for bringing you all in to the website. Here's the cool thing. Like, I mean, this sounds really obvious, but those of you, you're in our chat room. You're going to be able to log into a website, manage your subscription there. We're going to keep our chat room because that's awesome and it's a lot of fun and it's very useful. But you'll have total control. You'll be able to see all the pulse waves and everything right in the website. It's going to be really, really cool. But we have to onboard all of you, so please be patient with that. Our what do you call it? I'm going to say support.
Doohickey.
The team of one of the services that we're using is being very helpful, and they're going to onboard you all pretty soon, and it'll be really, really, really slick. So I'm psyched about it. But patience with that, please. And over the next few days, maybe sometime next week, we'll get everybody in there, probably sooner. And it's going to be really cool. All right, thanks, everybody, for watching. We're out, and we will see you. What I started to say was we'll be on a lot more next week than we were this week because we'll have our ducks in a row next week and be ready to go with the new site and stuff like that. So thanks, everyone, for watching.
Forgive our absence.
I'm going to cue that sweet heavy metal, and we'll see you in the room. Again, last chance, watchestrade.io. You can still join our room there at the extreme sale price, and we'll see you in the room. Take care. Thanks for watching. To sign up for one of our live trading demos or to just join the room so that you can get in and trade with Dex, go to watchustrade.io. Thanks.